Burberry London smells like the holidays in a bottle, and I love it. What's good, guys? Hunter here and welcome back to Fragrance Hunter. Hope we're all doing good. Today we are reviewing an icon from the house of Burberry, which of course is London for men, in this beautiful nice Burberry sweater going on the bottle, which smells just like this scent profile, guys. And what have I been doing throughout my entire existence? Because I haven't had a bottle of Burberry London in the collection ever since getting into the game. Now, when I smelled this, when I got it in, it definitely took me back from when I was a kid, because I believe I had like a little miniature bottle of a London. Boom, wow, this might be my favorite fragrance from the house of Burberry, and I'm sad I'm just now getting a bottle of it. Because I've been meaning to get a bottle of a London ever since like I got into like the fragrance game as far as like my channel and stuff goes around 5 years ago, but for some reason, never came across to getting it. But there's no better time than now to have a bottle of this, because the holidays are coming up, and this is straight up holidays in a bottle. I'm not even joking. Might be the most kind of Christmassy smelling fragrance in my entire collection easily. So are you a fan of Burberry London? Are you still rocking this classic? Because whoa, this has got to be the most underrated fragrance from Burberry easily. Because I prefer London over Burberry Brit, Burberry for Men, Burberry Touch, of course, definitely Mr. Burberry. Maybe on par with like Burberry Hero and its flankers, because I do love that line as well. But geez, this one is outstanding. Now, I do want to shout out FragHunterBusiness for sending Burberry London over for a review. Of course, though, if it's good, it's good. If it's not, it's not. You already know the drill. And of course, FragHunterBusiness is one of the most iconic websites when it comes to discounters on the entire internet, guys. I've been shopping with FragHunterBusiness ever since my beginning journey. And of course, he has some of the best prices in the game. But I don't even got to tell you guys about FragHunterBusiness because you already know all about it, I'm sure. Now, let's run down some information. So, Burberry London was launched back in 2006, which makes it pretty much 20 years old at the time of this recording, which is crazy, guys. I can't believe 20 years have gone past since this came out. But the retail price on the 100 ml does run you $110, but that's at retail if you go into like a Sephora and pick up a bottle of it. However, of course, on FragHunterBusiness, you can get this for around $30. And I'm telling you, for around 30 bucks for the holidays, this is almost a must-have. For the concentration, this is going to be an eau de toilette. You're getting sub 20% oils, of course, which is definitely not on the higher side of things, obviously. Now, for the perfumer, it is the man himself, Antoine Maison Dew. A master perfumer, has a huge catalog of so many fantastic fragrances in the game, and Burberry London is definitely one of those icons. Now, with all the information out of the way, let's look at the packaging and presentation you get with this fragrance now. So take a look at this beautiful, iconic Burberry box with that beautiful Burberry kind of pattern going on. Of course, Burberry London for men, 100 ml. On the bottom, we got your barcode and probably a batch code to authenticate product and see when it was produced. Some information and ingredients on the back, and then just Burberry up top. Obviously, a regular kind of designer cardboard box, but man, I love that Burberry pattern. So take a look at this bottle, which I love this kind of Burberry scarf pattern going on the bottle as well. Of course, it's iconic. On the bottom, you got your sticker with your information and batch code. Same as that thing on the back with some beautiful stitching. Now, the cap is a plastic and pretty lightweight. Nothing on the atomizer, and it does click in fairly securely so you can't pick it up with confidence. In the top, you got that cinnamon, lavender, and bergamot. In the mid, you got leather and mimosa. And in the base, you got tobacco, gaiac wood, opopanax, and oak moss. And this will be classified as a spicy woody. So let's spray this, test out these atomizers. Decent atomizer, does shoot out a ton of juice. However, though, it's not gonna be pressurized. But man, that's not the biggest deal. So let's go ahead and remind myself of the beautiful Burberry London, and I'll let you guys do the first sniff. Do you smell like you're wrapped up in a beautiful kind of scarf and like Burberry sweater? Because that's the vibe this gives off to me, like sitting by a fireplace. Because right away in the opening, you're gonna get this cozy, spicy, warm cinnamon, like one of the most coziest cinnamon openings I've ever smelled in my entire life, guys. I cannot get over how cozy, warm, and comforting this fragrance makes me feel. I mean, it probably smells like walking through London when it's snowing outside. You have a Burberry kind of trench coat or pea coat on. You're so warm and cozy even though it's snowing and freezing outside. That is how this makes me feel, guys, and I love that feeling. And of course, mixing it with that cinnamon, you do have that lavender. Now, the lavender in this one is a little bit different than I'm usually used to from lavender because it's, of course, aromatic fougere, but it also gives off this minty tone to lavender as well. It actually does have this kind of minty feel to the opening, which is definitely coming from that lavender note mixed with that spicy, cozy, warm cinnamon. And even to this day, this opening is so unique. I haven't smelled anything like this opening before, and that's crazy because this has been around for 20 years. And it still holds up to this day, in my opinion, guys, 20 years later. This is absolutely gonna be a timeless cold weather classic fragrance from Burberry, probably forever. There's something about this opening that makes me so happy. It kind of reminds me of being like a child, waking up on Christmas morning, so excited to go upstairs, open presents, of course, have a good breakfast, be around family, be very cozy and just kind of comfortable. That's where this fragrance takes me when I apply this stuff, guys, like seriously. So if you want to be transported to being a child again, having that kind of anticipation of waking up for Christmas, so excited where you can't even sleep the day before, Burberry London is gonna do that for you. And it's definitely making me feel like that because I believe I had a tiny bottle of this when I was a child. Or probably even got a bottle of it for like Christmas, something like that. I mean, years and years ago. Yeah, Christmas morning in a bottle with Burberry London. Now, as we transition into the mid, you are gonna get this rugged leather note. I mean, it's more like this brown, rugged leather type of vibe. Still getting that cinnamon and lavender, believe me. But starts to turn a little bit darker and darker and darker as this one settles on the skin. Yeah, a burst of leather, but it's not like that new car smell that you find in like Tom Ford's ombre leather. No, it's more of like a kind of rugged, old leather bound book or like a leather kind of sapple or something like that. And then finally in the base of London is where you're gonna get this cherry piped tobacco, very earthy cherry piped tobacco vibe into the dry down, which I think fits perfectly from this entire DNA, guys. Now, along with the tobacco, you have this kind of smoky, woody gaiac wood as well, which work perfect together. With this kind of warm resonance of Popanax note, and of course, this kind of earthy oak moss vibe as well. So there's a lot going on in the dry down of London, very complex as well, but man, do all four of those notes work hand to hand together and just complement each other flawlessly. Of course, cherry pipe tobacco, smoky woody gaiac wood, this kind of spicy resonance of Popanax, and that earthy mossy vibe. And I will say the least dominant note is definitely the oak moss in the base. So if you don't like oak moss, do not worry about that. It's just far in the background. Kind of more of like a supportive note mixing with more of the primary notes into the dry down of London. But through and through to its core, this is a cinnamon leather tobacco fragrance dominantly, with a nice dose of that minty aromatic lavender in the top. But you're not gonna get that far in the base at all, which is kind of a shame because I'm addicted to the opening of London, guys, probably because of that minty lavender and that cinnamon combination. Yeah, top tier, never smelled anything like that before. So in my opinion, for around 30 bucks, this is a no-brainer, must have in the collection for the holiday seasons. Even if you just want to wear this for the holidays, that is perfectly fine with this fragrance. I mean, I own 800 bottles in my collection that you see behind me and over there, of course, behind you guys. And for my Christmas set of the day, I might just choose this right here. So for the best seasons to rock London, of course, fall and winter strictly. Do not want to rock this in the spring or summer at all. This fragrance shines the best when the leaves are on the ground, it's snowing outside, it's cold, you're dressing very warm in like a nice kind of warm hoodie, pea coat, trench coat, some sweatpants, jeans, whatever, boots. That is the perfect season to rock Burberry London, and what I think fits this one perfectly. It's crazy how this one literally smells like fall in a bottle, and it also smells like Christmas in a bottle. Yeah, Burberry was far ahead of its time when this came out back in 2006. For occasion, this one's both kind of casual and formal. Doesn't really matter what kind of attire you're wearing. You can wear this one, like I said, wearing sweatpants and a hoodie, but you can definitely also dress this one up wearing like a dress shirt, a suit, even a tuxedo if you wanted to. If you're going to like a beautiful kind of winter wedding, ooh yeah, this is gonna work great. And also if you're going on a date in the winter or fall time, perfect as well, and especially, of course, the holidays as well. But if you really wanted to wear this one like every day during the cold weather, whether you're going to work, going on a date, going to meetings, going somewhere like fancy like in an event, going on a date, this one works perfectly. But for me primarily, I might say this one strictly for the holidays and just kind of have that fragrance that reminds me of the holidays every single year. And for gender, definitely on the masculine side of things. There's nothing feminine about this at all. Very much masculine, of course, aromatic, spicy, woody, smoky. This smells like a true gentleman type of fragrance, guys. The kind of guy that walks around dressing a little bit nicer, you know what I mean? Wearing like nice sweaters, wearing nice jeans, maybe some Chelsea boots. Just gives off that gentlemanly, masculine vibe through and through with Burberry London. Maybe like that lover boy vibe as well, if you get my drift. And for age groups with this one, it definitely does lean a little bit more on the mature side of things rather than youthful, because there's nothing like playful, juvenile, or fun about this fragrance, if you know what I mean, as far as that goes, because at its core, it's still an earthy, tobacco aromatic fragrance that doesn't really suit the younger audience. However, like I said earlier, I remember wearing this one when I was young as well. So of course, if you want to, you can still rock it, but definitely on the mature side of things at the end of the day. I mean, it definitely gives me more like grown, got his life together type of vibe. Almost like going to family holidays, bringing your wife and kids with you, like being a father and a husband. That's what this smells like right here. But for me, I'm not a father or a husband, but obviously I'm still rocking it. But yeah, definitely that's the kind of picture I get in my head when I smell it. Now, wrapping the review out, talking on the performance you should get from a Burberry London. Now, this one, like I said, is an EDT, which is lower on the concentration scale of things, like under 20% oils, more so alcohol concentration. But for my testing, I still got around 8 hours on skin, which is about average and pretty good even for an EDT. I wasn't really expecting 8 hours. I was possibly expecting maybe like 6 hours at max. But no, this one did last pretty good on my skin. Of course, I moisturized, got clean skin, so that might have to do something with it. So if you spray this one, you get like 4 hours. Don't come at me because you probably got alligator skin, bro. Moisturize up. But of course, if you apply your clothes, you might get a few hours longer, maybe around 10, 12 hours possibly as well. Which, trust me, while wearing this one, you're gonna wanna do a mixture of both on skin and on clothes. So go ahead, apply your nice Christmas sweater with this. And with projection, I got about moderate projection, which means it's not a very close scent bubble fragrance. It's not soft, but it's also not a loud beast mode or room filling projection fragrance either. So about moderate, which means majority of people might smell you within an arm's length of distance, but don't expect everybody to be indulged in your beautiful Burberry London scent profile, because that just will not be the case. But believe me, still pushes off fairly nicely for the first few hours, and no doubt about that. Maybe apply this one like right before you're going to your Christmas event, just to give it a little bit of help throughout the day. So yeah, average 8 hours of longevity with about moderate projection is what you should expect to get from Burberry London. So it's average right down the board. I'm not even complaining at all, especially for the concentration. It kind of exceeded my expectations slightly. So that's gonna do it for my review of the iconic Burberry London for men. Let me know if you guys have owned this one. Do you own it now? Do you wear it still in 2025? And what are your thoughts about it? Because me, I think it still fits today easily, guys. It's not outdated by any means. So besides that, leave a like on the video, subscribe down below if you haven't already, because I got you guys with daily fragrance content. And of course, I'm gonna catch all of you back here tomorrow. Take care, everybody.